And now, Giant Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
We're talking Giants every day. From McCovey Cove to the Oracle Park lights, Eric and Glenn keep the fire burning bright, fighting for the glory, no matter what it costs us, breaking down the moments from the wins to the losses. Giant Sports Talk, we're here for the ride. Eric and Glenn with the fan base pride, talking dreams, will they contend? But we'll back the Giants till the very end. Let's go, Giants! Yes, yes, yes! Oh! Eric and Glenn breaking it down, all Giants all the time.
Welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live for post-game, Game 4, Giants Brewers. Giants win. Look at look at Cole. He caught on. Oh, yeah. Let's not blame the win in the Brewers defense. There were some clutch hits for the likes of Chapman, Yaz, and Lee. Okay, hey, come on, man. I think Yelich deserves some votes out there. You don't think so? You don't think so? You think that hey, Cole, you are you going to tell me that if Cole or if Christian Yelich did not drop that ball that the Giants would have won? There's a little bit of luck involved there, right? Come on, man. But it was good. Still, hey, you know what? I'll take the win. I say this all the time, Glenn. It's the game of baseball. You got to catch the ball. If you can't catch and throw and hit the ball, well, guess what? Or let's also be able to run. You ain't going to win games. And that's what happens. He took his eye off the ball, went off his glove. Next thing you know, Giants were able to capitalize and win. So what you think, Glenn?
Dude, they are trying to take the wind out of my sails early. What do I think, Eric?
Oh my God. Look at you. Oh my God. You're coming in with some freaking graphics yourself. Look at that.
There you go.
Honestly, no, there is a little bit of luck involved. There's no doubt about it. Right?
Dude, I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. I'm pleased as punch, but it'll catch up with them. What did I tell you? We were looking over some stats for 3 or 4 minutes before the show. The Giants had 6 players come to the plate today, batting .202 or less.
Yeah, I know that it's
5 of them.
That's
under
going to have
200.
to be addressed. But
dare I start the show by, it's time now for our Lamont Wade Jr. update.
No, not yet.
Batting 094.
Yeah, I know. We'll get into that kind of stuff, but let's talk about again. And Robert, you're right on it today. Giants always seem to find a way to win. I mean, it's
luck.
It's the luck of the draw to a certain extent.
They didn't find a way to make an error to win the game today, Eric. They didn't find a way.
No,
it's luck.
Well, to a certain extent, yeah, I get what you're saying. But
to an extent,
I'll take it though, right? Would you take the win? I would take the win.
I'll take 100%. The win, and you take the win and run with it because you're going to need him at the end of the year. If you keep
you're
this up, Eric, you're going to go on a major skid.
Yeah, it could. No, it could be. And there's going to have to be some adjustments here. There's no doubt about it. Look, it's April. You're kind of seeing what you got. May, to a certain extent. June, you need to start figuring out, okay, what moves we got to make here. And then July, of course, during the trade deadline, right at the end, you got to make your move. Got to make your move, man. So, again, the Giants win. Look at that. Giants improved to 20. No, what am I saying? 20. 17-9. That is
Attaboy.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. It's awesome though. I'm not complaining. I'm shocked. It's pretty amazing on what's going on. Hey, what's up, Kyle? Kyle, we'll send out the link here in a little bit and you come in and you could chime in. There we go. Closer. You know what? Before we even get to that, before we get to that, should we talk about the game first? How about
you know what, Eric? Maybe I'm coming out strong here tonight. Maybe I'm really coming out strong here. I say it's luck. Okay. You don't necessarily agree. Boop. It is a lot of that. I think, who deserves all the credit?
Let's hear it. The Orange Man. There you go. Yeah.
I just uploaded it. It's just,
hey, there you go.
It just worked. So I don't know.
There it is. The Orange Man. Orange Man. Caesar. Yes.
I think with a look like that, well, he looks pretty proud. He's a great shot of the Bay Bridge too.
I love the Bay Bridge in the background, man. That's freaking awesome.
So maybe it's his doing, but dude, something I don't know. Like Rothberg said, they find a way to win today. Yaz had a good game, but other than that, dude, one guy stepped up with a good game, and they still won. One guy.
Hey. Let's talk about it. Let's get into this. Here we go.
And now, today's Giants in Review on Giants Sports Talk Live.
There we are. Giants win 6-5 over the Milwaukee Brewers. It was in grand fashion, I guess you would say. Milwaukee scored 5 runs on 9 hits. Giants 6 runs on 7 hits. Both had errors. Not exactly a clean game. Lamont Wade, not only is he not hitting, now he's starting to freaking create some errors out there in the field. I don't like it. We'll talk more about it. Milwaukee is now 13-13, 500. Giants, as I said, 17-9. Wow, 17-9. Rogers, hey, your buddy Rogers got the win. He's 2-0 with a sub-1 ERA. Alexander,
best player on the team. Best player on the team. He's the best player, Eric. Look, 2-0, 0.68 ERA.
Yeah, he only comes up for an inning at a time, though. Alexander,
dude. So does Walker. So does Walker. You give him props tonight?
Yeah. Duvall, look at that. He came in. They went to Duvall today. Did not go to Walker, and he made it a little bit interesting there at the end, and we'll talk about it. Absolutely.
Did you catch the post-game interview? Bob Melvin said it's by committee. Don't just calm down. My strategy's been by committee all along. And I'm like, yeah, right.
By committee? No, it's been Walker. Come on.
He's going by committee now. They can share the duties, and we'll see where we go from there.
That's interesting. Okay. Well, we'll see how that pans out. Yastrzemski had a great game today. 2 hits, 2 RBIs, a walk, 2 runs scored. Man, Yaz had a hell of a game. Let's not forget he had a nice home run there off the green roof in right field. So yeah, Yaz, man, I'm telling you, he has really come around. I mean, we gave him so much shit, deservedly so. Hey, there's Caesar. What's up, dude? Deservedly so, because Yaz has been pretty bad. But look, I'll give him all the credit, man. The guy's playing some really good baseball, on both sides of the play, or I'd say both sides of the field. In the field and at the batter's box, he's taking care of business. So yes, and I like him there in the leadoff spot. I'm telling you, man. Why not? Adames had a hit today, but the hit that he didn't have is the tell of the tape, so to speak, for the game, man. Hit a line shot. It was solidly hit. And he had a lot of solid contact today. He hit a deep fly ball to right center, but it went out there in Triple's alley. But that one that he nailed to Yelich, we'll talk more about it. It was a shot, but Yelich just flubbed. Lo and behold, run score, and it helped the Giants be able to secure that victory. Chapman had a hit with 2 RBIs. Again, he had a big fly opposite field. What is that in their center, right center? It was awesome. But he also had 2 strikeouts. It kind of sucked. Ramos had an 0-4 today. Not good. Wade. Fitzgerald, 0-4 today. Huff, 0-4 today. And Matos had 1 hit. So there you go. 7 total hits. Only 4 strikeouts. But here is something that is kind of scary, where we're starting to see this a little bit. 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position. That is something you do not like to see. But again, when you win, it doesn't get highlighted as much as you lose. When you lose, well then, they hit with runners in scoring position, right? But
So Steven wants to know, Eric, why do we call it luck when the Giants are 6th in runs scored? I call it luck because they strike out too much. They went 1 for 13 again today with runners in scoring position. I said off the top of the show, they had 6 players make plate appearances batting 202 or less. That's why it's luck, Eric.
Yeah, Steven, I mean, you come on, you could chalk that up today, right? That ball should have been caught by Yelich. And
That's Yelich. You forgot to throw in Yelich. There you go. Yeah. There you go.
And here we go. And that's going to happen in a baseball game. So to a certain extent, yes, you could call it luck. But yeah, the Giants are also in other games taking care of business. So look, I mean, you could say both statements are true. There's luck, and yes, the Giants are actually taking care of business.
You know, I disagree wholeheartedly with Robert, and I'll tell you why, Eric. Robert Rothberg, our old buddy, says, Glenn, it's all about the record. No, it's not. No, it's not. They make the playoffs, Eric. So what happens if they win another 106 games this year, dude? Go to the playoffs, short series? Dude.
Yeah,
it's not about the record.
I got a feeling if the Giants are rolling, I could see the Giants adding some players at the trade deadline. So what
happened in 2021 with our record, Robert?
Yeah, that sucked.
Duvall comes in, and the announcers go, "Holy crap! Holy crap! Look who's at bat!"
Yeah,
and he's hitting about 100 too, and we lost.
Yeah, I know.
We lost the series to the LA Dodgers.
Hey, I know.
At home. So it's not about the record to me, Eric.
That's fair. It's about how you're playing.
It's about consistency.
Yeah, if you're coming into the if you're coming into the playoffs on a hot streak, more times than not, you're going to succeed getting a little bit deep. If you're scuffling, well, then maybe again, and if your record's still good, but you just happen to hit the skids there at the end. Yeah, I mean, it's not all about the record. I 100% agree with that. The only thing that matters with the record at this particular time in the regular season is for you to get in the postseason. Once you get into the postseason, record doesn't matter. It's all about this winning series. All right, Roop, 3 2/3, man. He looked rough today. 3 walks, only 2 strikeouts, 4 earned. Yeah, he had a bad outing today. Don't like to see that, man. I was hoping he was going to have a little bit better outing. Granted, he had some bad defense behind him, but gosh, he still should have thrown the ball a lot better. Bivens, he came in with 2 innings. It was a little bit shaky there, but he got out of it. Had 2 walks, 1 strikeout, only 1 hit, no earned runs. Matter of fact, the entire bullpen, no earned runs. Eric Miller came in for 1 1/3. Nice. Tyler Rogers came in, only 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. That's weird. Tyler Rogers is not a big strikeout guy, and to strike out 3 in the side, that's pretty big. And then Duvall came in with the save. Got a little bit weird because he walked that first guy, but he was able to.
Michael says, "Oh, go ahead. I thought you were done."
No, go for it. Go ahead.
Michael says the Giants win. Yay! And then Glenn, there's something wrong with this team. No, Mike, the Giants win, and there are some things wrong. Eric, if we go into pick a team, any team, pick a card, any card. Pick a team?
Cleveland Guardians.
We go into Cleveland, Eric, and I go, holy crap, did you see Cleveland's roster, Eric? They got a guy. Here's the roster. Guys batting 158, 167, 176, 094, 202. Would you go, holy crap, we got a great shot at winning that game?
I got you. I hear you. And it's good. Look, because this is the good.
It's because we're Giants fans that this is spun in it with a different web, Eric.
Yeah, no, there is bias, right? Not recency, but there is bias. And I'll tell you something.
Yes, that's exactly what
here's going to be the issue. When there's certain guys that aren't pulling away. For example, what if Flores, who's been carrying the team, what if Lee, who's been carrying this team, what if they start slumping? Who are going to be the guys picking them up? Chapman has been playing pretty good. So I'll give if you got these guys that aren't out there producing, who is going to be the guys that's going to pick it up?
Good question. So
that's the issue.
Lee and or Wilmer go in the tank for a while, are the faithful saying, "Don't worry about it. We got Bailey. Don't worry about it. We got Lamont. Don't worry about it. We got Lamont. Don't worry about it. Ramos batting a cool, 206 or something like that. Don't worry about it. Eric, I'm worrying because this team doesn't have enough depth and a production depth
Now,
to keep this going, Eric.
I know there's going to have to be guys that step up. There's no doubt about it. And look, and I'm going to say something right now is throughout a season, 1 through 9 are not going to all be firing on the same cylinders throughout a season. It's just not going to happen. There's going to be there's going to be times in the season where you got maybe 3 guys are doing well and the rest are not doing so good. And then there's other times maybe, hey, 5 guys are taking care of business and only a few. And sometimes maybe there's only 1 guy. I mean, that's the thing with baseball. It's hard to really lock it down saying, that this guy is going to go out and produce every single night. So
Tom says it's the sum of the parts, not just the hitting.
Yeah, that is right. That's fine. That's fair. Right. And some
fair assessment, but Eric, if you're betting the house on it and I look at the Giants roster, I'll take the other team, especially in a short playoff series, dude.
But we can't see. Hold on. Because you're judging the team right now as a playoff team when it's not. We've still got 5 more months of baseball. We don't know what the team is going to be like when it comes to playoff time. It could be a juggernaut. It could be a rotten egg. Or somewhere in the middle. So it's right now. I'm not going to sit there and say, okay, yeah, this is a playoff team because it's still early in the season. I'm not. Again, I don't get too hung up in some of this stuff. Not quite yet. Wade April. Wade, you're Mr. Yeah. You know all about Mr. April. I'm not. Yes, do I like to see Wade out there every day because what he's doing? No. And by the way, guys, I'm gonna have a special treat for you hopefully in the next day or two. Gonna work on something. It's gonna be good. But
treat for me. You didn't tell me.
It's gonna be good for everybody. You're gonna enjoy this. It's another little Eric production. It should be fun.
Okay,
it's gonna be fun. But yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see. And so what Tom is saying, the sum of their parts, and Tom to a certain extent. A sum of their part also involves the other team because if the other team doesn't say, and I said this off the top, if they don't catch the ball, if they don't pitch the ball, if they don't hit the ball, and if they're not running the bases, well, guess what? You're giving the other team a chance, the San Francisco Giants, to be in the game. And that's what happened. In yesterday's game, Terang flubbed the freaking double play ball. Today, Yelich dropped a simple liner. I mean, but that's part of the game. So we'll see.
Well, the guys are putting their eggs in a basket, Eric, post-Easter, of course. But look, okay, they're talking about Willy Adames. Talking about Willy Adames. He's going to heat up. Do you think so? Let me go back, 3 or 4 years. 2022, Eric, when he batted .238. You think, he's going to have a better year the next year. How about 217 average the next year? 251 in 24, and this year he's batting 202. So, dude, well, all of a sudden these guys are going to
I'll tell you what.
They're really good hitters. They're just not hitting good.
I'll tell you what. Look, am I expecting Adames to go out there and bat 270? Unfortunately, he's never done that. And I don't expect him to do that. Do I think that he's going to bat 200 the rest of the year? No. He's going to be somewhere between 230, 245-ish. 251 may be his high mark. I don't know because he hasn't showed the consistency. So I don't know. I expect him to come through a little bit more as the season progresses. Again, is he used to playing in a place like San Francisco? It's not, and to a certain extent, even on the road, it's not like he's freaking killing the ball either. So maybe it's just taking him a little while to kind of get his groove, as they say. I think we got something out here. Look at this. Oh, there's Alive. What's up? What's up, Alive? Man, no, absolutely. I'm not saying that there isn't. I'm not saying there isn't. All right, here, let's do this real quick. I know he's waiting for this.
And now, another Giant Sports Talk Live Super Chat.
Look at that. Chardall coming through with $2. Thanks, Chardall. Go Giants. Go. Let's sweep the Rangers. Yes, we'll do our best. And make that 3 brooms next time because it's a 3-game series.
I don't know, Eric. All right. So we got the Rangers coming in, Eric.
Yes, we do. Bochy coming back to town.
Don't forget, the biggest event of the weekend is going to be Saturday afternoon when we all, well, like everybody except for me, goes to the ballpark and gets a T-shirt. It is Brandon Crawford Day at the Ball Yard.
Right. That's
It's going to be a big weekend. Bochy's in town, so that'll be good. He's there. He'll partake. But so what do you think? Now we go up again. So all of a sudden we're going to sweep the Texas Rangers, Eric?
Hey, he's rooting for his team. Root for your home team, right? That's what he's doing. Hey, look, you want to be a fan and do that? That's fine, man. That's your prerogative. I'm not going to sit there and shit on you for that. Not at all. And Greg says 2 of 3. I'm happy with the series win. You get 2 of 3, dude. That is a success.
All right.
Yes,
you want my prediction, Eric?
Series.
You don't want it, but you're going to hear it anyway. So we got Webb out of the way. We got Webb out of the way, Eric. So I say we get swept this weekend.
You think so? Okay? So tomorrow is.
So who went today? It was.
It's going to be Ray, right? Today was Roop. So Ray going tomorrow.
I'm just bringing it up. I'm going to go through the whole weekend with you. I was just looking at the hockey scoreboard. 2-0 Blues. Ugh. Okay, 3-0 Blues. Oops. All right, tomorrow you've got the late game. Let's see. We've got Nathan Eovaldi.
That's their ace. That's gonna be a tough one.
Up against Justin Verlander.
Okay.
That's your matchup tomorrow. Eovaldi, Verlander.
Got it.
Then we go into Saturday, an afternoon game, Eric. You've got Tyler Mahle up against Robbie Ray.
Okay.
And then to close it out, 3-game series, as you mentioned to Chardal there. So we'll close it out on Sunday afternoon. We've got Patrick Corbin, your old buddy, Patrick Corbin, up against one of your old buddies. I'm not going to say his name. We'll call it a bullpen game. We'll call it a bullpen game.
And Patrick Corbin, what handed is he when he pitches?
Lefty.
They better win the first 2.
You got
better win the first 2.
Hicks.
Oh,
and his 7 ERA, or what is it? 6.59 now.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see.
I'm going to sweep. Look. What say you?
If Verlander can pitch like he did in Anaheim, I like our chances. But Eovaldi's going to be tough.
Our chances of what? Winning the series, sweeping the series. What do you think?
There ain't going to be no sweep. I don't think there's going to be a sweep.
I think it'll be a sweep.
You think it'll be a sweep, huh? Nah, I don't think it'll
wins.
be a sweep.
Texas sweeps them this week.
You think Texas sweeps? Wow, look at you. Oh man, this is so hard. I don't know, man.
Or maybe they win one, because sooner or later, Lamont Wade's got to strike gold. Put a blindfold on him. Sooner or later, he's got to hit something. So maybe he has a good game along the way here this weekend, back at home, right? So I don't know. He hasn't done anything at home this week.
I was just gonna say
as my dad would say when I was a kid, don't worry, he's overdue. He's overdue, right? I guess when you're batting 094, you're long overdue.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he's not watching this show every night.
But it's gonna be interesting, man. Yeah, it's weird.
All right, good question.
There's something about the team that just I don't know. I'm a little bit perplexed. Is that a good word?
Smoke and mirrors. But Alive wants to know, Eric, how long do we keep Wade at first hitting 094?
I don't think it's going to last. It can't. And how long do we keep him? As in, not we as in us, but as we as in Giants. Woo!
But do you think their thought process is it's the opening month of the season, and hey, like the chat says,
I think that's
don't
what they're
crap
doing.
on them because, you know what? It's early in the year, and we're winning. Look at our record. But I'm telling you, law of average is going to creep up, dude. We won today's win. We were lucky.
Yeah, could say that.
You know who's getting my vote for player of the game? We got to do that too. When are you putting that up there? We got to do our nightly player of the game.
Oh yeah, it's up there, guys. If you haven't voted yet, I got the player of the game out there. Let's see who are the selections that I picked. Look.
Yeah, I didn't have a say in this, but I
got
agree.
38 votes. Player of the game. I have Yaz, Chapman, Doval, and Yelich. Why did I pick Yelich? Can anyone guess why I picked Yelich?
Because that's how the Giants got lucky and won the game, dude.
Okay.
In a nutshell.
Right. That's why I picked Yelich, because of his little flub out there in left field. Giants were able to capitalize. All right. So right now, it's currently, where is it at? There it is. Yaz is at 45%. Yelich is at 24%. And there's a tie for third between Chapman and Doval. But yeah, I like Yaz. I like the selection of Yaz because he went out there and he took care of business today, man. There's no doubt about it. Had a hit, had a home run.
Let me try to put it in perspective for you, Eric. So growing up on the East Coast, I was out and, I have a bit of a hockey background. So I started out as a kid, played a lot of pond hockey when I was, 5, 6, 7, 8, up to probably 10 years old. And dude, in the springtime, the ice gets a little, you kind of see the cracks in the ice. And the old guy next door, Gerald, you say, I wouldn't be out there skating on that, young fella. And you go out there and you play after school and you get your game in. The next day he goes, I wouldn't be out there. Well, sooner or later, Eric, you're going to go through.
Yep.
It's law of averages. If you keep going out on thin ice, and that's how I call it, this team's winning on thin ice, dude.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Kyle has a question for you. Glenn, out of
7 hits. Dude, it's not just the way we got 7 hits, and you're saying, okay, right? 7 hits, and we won the game. But look, it's in running order that Ramos had nothing, and Wade had nothing, and Fitzgerald had nothing, and Huff had nothing. And then, let's see, Flores pinch hit. You got Koss. He didn't get a plate appear. Bailey had nothing. Dude, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Where the hit? We're winning with that. You can talk about pitching and defense all you want, but that is not going to continue to win your games on a consistent base. Consistency, Eric.
But here's the thing. And you're talking about law of averages. But you know what's going to happen? The guys who are batting like shit could come around, and the guys who are on fire could the bottom can fall out. I mean, that's the thing with baseball is we're got 162 games, and if we analyze every little nook and cranny of every game, it's going to drive you mad. It just is. That's why I kind of just take it in stride. When I start worrying is if you start having if you're losing a lot in a row, if you're losing, say you lose 3 series in a row, or if you have a huge losing streak of 10 in a row, or if you get late in the season and it's looking bad. Well, yeah, then I'm going to be on my horse. But this early in the season, I kind of just take a little bit more easy. Kyle wants to know, Glenn, out of all the first basemen in the Giants organization, who would you prefer to start at first base besides Flores?
Oh, besides Wilmer, huh? That's a good question, Eric. That's a good question. You think about that for a minute.
That's fine. You know what? Hey,
well,
Kyle.
you know what the future. Are you talking about like today? I mean, we all know that Eldridge probably.
We're just talking for. I think what he's trying to say. Baseman. If we're going to move off Wade, who's the guy that's going to get in there? Who is the guy? There you go, Kyle.
I'll give it to you. Well, you answer first while I'm thinking here.
The only other guy I can think of to be playing first base, and it's not ideal, is going to have to be VR, right? It has to be VR.
Yeah.
If you're saying besides
Schmidt's out for a month.
Yeah, besides Flores, if Flores is not the answer, I don't really want him to because he's been doing so good at the DH. It has to be VR. It has to be, unless the Giants go out there and make some kind of move. I don't know, man. Because right now there is no first baseman out there for the Giants to go out there and reach. And I think that's why they had Casey Schmidt playing first base.
Who's your first baseman at Sacramento, Eric?
That's
not Wisely.
I don't even know.
Be Lamb. Lamb? Can Lamb play first base?
Lamb. Do you know it? There you go. It might be Lamb. That's who it might be. I didn't even think about that. I forgot all about it.
And Lamb has got...
He's got...
MLB pedigree anyway.
Yeah. And he can't do
well, you know what? That's going to happen. So, dude, Listen, if you're
I didn't even
Lamont
think
Wade
about
Jr. and you're
What?
laying in bed in the Bay Area, you get up tomorrow morning and you get a call, say, we got another first baseman coming in. There's no way he should be surprised.
I tell you what, though, the problem is if you bring up Jake Lamb, you got to make a move on the 40-man. And who is it on the
So then
40-man?
move Koss out of there.
Yeah, but if you get him off the 40-man, I guess, because I think he has to get designated for assignment. If they wanted to keep him, there's a chance that he gets picked up by somebody else, if I'm not mistaken, I think.
Who's picking up Koss?
Good question. Good question. All right, let's bring in Kyle.
Let's ask Kyle who's picking
What's
up
up,
Koss, because
Kyle?
I don't think anybody's running to the
Eric, Glenn, how's it going?
What's up, buddy?
Good, man. What you up to, dude?
Nothing really. Just got finished with a bunch of the draft stuff. Finished all my finals yesterday, so past 2 weeks I've been doing the most important studying, and that's for the draft and what the Giants should be doing the next.
I didn't even ask you. What are you studying?
I'm pre-business right now, so I'm going to be applying to a supply chain program this summer.
Supply chain. Look at this guy. Ooh, gonna need a lot of that, man. Because it's looking bleak. But that's a conversation for another day. So, what'd you think of today's win, man?
I thought it was good. I think that.
Where do you prescribe? Do you prescribe this on a lot of luck, like Glenn says, or is it just part of the game? It, again, you know, both could be true. I'm not asking you to pick one side or another. Just where are you on with and how the Giants are winning?
So, with the way the Giants are winning lately, I think there is some luck that goes into it. I think both can be true. They are pulling out clutch wins, but there is some luck that goes into some of these games.
Sure.
With this game today in particular, Christian Koss is a very fast runner, and Christian Yelich doesn't have the strongest arm. Mm-hmm. So hypothetically, let's say
you think he put some pressure on. You think that's why he flubbed that ball?
Yes. So let's say just hypothetically, Christian Yelich catches that ball. He probably doesn't have a strong enough arm to get Koss at first, and if he does, it would have to be an absolutely perfect throw. So this one, I have some issues with Roop. Sort of the same thing I was talking about with Robbie Ray last time I was on here, just not keeping the momentum on the Giants side. But I think that this was a good game. I think it was a good character game for the San Francisco Giants, and I liked the fight, quite frankly. That being said, I do have some critiques of this game as well.
There you go. Okay, that's what you want. What do you think? Who? Okay, biggest critique. Let me guess. No, seriously, who? What was it that you want to critique as far as the club is concerned for this game?
So, I guess for this game, I would say Landon Roop. He goes out in the top of the first.
Not good.
Let me make sure I have this timeline correct. But he goes out in the top of the first. He allows a run. The San Francisco Giants, they pick him up. Jung Hoo Lee hits a double to score a run, tie the game back up.
Right.
And then Landon Roop goes out in the second and allows another run. So we're playing from behind again. We go out in the third. We get another run to tie it up.
Well,
and then Landon Roop in the top of the fourth gives up 3 runs. So,
and part of that was a bad defense as well, right?
Yes, of course. But a lot of that is throwing strikes as well. One of the issues I've seen with multiple pitchers on this rotation is, like, in spring training, we heard all about how many strikes the San Francisco Giants pitching staff was going to throw. And Robbie Ray leads the league in walk rate. But we've had some issues with walks. But that being said, it's a win. They take 3 of 4 from the Milwaukee Brewers. That's a respectable team. And so we just have to see how this pitching rotation plays out going forward.
There you go. Glenn, what do you got? You got anything for Kyle?
Maybe what we were talking about earlier. How are we going to continue to win with guys batting with
Yeah.
five
Okay.
guys today batting 197 and 194? And I got the list here. You heard me earlier, I'm sure. 158, 167, 176, 094, and 202. There's the meat of your lineup. So you've got more guys that are batting 202 or less that are producing with, I mean, I wouldn't even call 227. Chapman's batting 227. Not exactly big numbers. How do you get longevity in the win department out of this team with those kind of numbers?
Yeah,
Mathematically, it's not possible.
Yeah, this team is definitely being carried by Jung-Hoo Lee and Wilmer Flores and Mike Yastrzemski right now. And I do want to focus in on Willy Adames because that was our big signing in the offseason. And I think that some people don't really understand who Willy Adames is quite yet.
Right. They didn't sign him for
If
his
we
bat.
go over to Baseball Savant, Willy Adames's fielding range is 3rd percentile. That means only 2% of players have less range than Willy Adames has at shortstop. So he wasn't brought here to be a great fielder. He started his career as a good fielder, but last year he was below average at
Yeah,
shortstop.
but Kyle, he doesn't bring a good bat in.
Not right
Yeah,
now.
so
I
that's
gave his
what I'm getting
stats for the
to.
last 4 years. This guy is not a great hitter.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to is he has to have been brought here to hit. And, you know, we give a player 40 games to sort of stabilize their stats because Adames is a streaky guy and he's been going through a cold streak, but eventually he has to start hitting because that's where his worth is. It's not with the glove, it's with the bat.
That's fair. And that's fair.
There are only 2 decent batting averages on this entire roster, or in this entire MLB roster. And those are Lee, of course. He's batting 333. And Yaz, of all people, batting 282.
Yes.
Nobody else. Oh, I'm sorry. And Fitzgerald batting
Fitzgerald
301.
is 301.
Nobody else has a competitive batting average on this team. Nobody. Matt Chapman, 227. And Ramos, 226.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry, but those aren't winning. Those numbers don't equate to a winning ball club.
But they're finding a way. That's the again.
Yeah, but
beauty of the game.
am I wrong then, Kyle? Kyle, look back to 2021. This team won 106 ball games, went to the playoffs, first round. Where were they? Golfing by the end of the second week.
Yeah, good point. You definitely need some of these guys like Adames, Ramos, Chapman. Chapman's playing okay. I don't think of Chapman as a bat first guy. He's a glove first guy. But he's batting 4th. So that's an entirely different conversation we could go into. But especially Ramos and Adames, they need to pick it up with the bat.
Okay.
But
I'll tell you what.
The thing I'm most concerned with is the pitching rotation because it's Webb and then it's
question marks after that, right?
The whole team's question marks.
Now, if Verlander goes out tomorrow and pitches a good game, that's 2 good games in a row, and now you're establishing right? That I would be okay with that. I'll tell you what. And this is something we forgot to talk about yesterday as well too, and it needs to be addressed. What is going on with Patrick Bailey? Because one thing that Patrick Bailey has always been known for, right? In the first half of the season, his bat plays. Second half of the season, it starts fading. What is going on with Patrick Bailey, man? Because his bat is just not there. It's not, and I don't know what to do with that, man. I want him to succeed. But man, when he comes out to bat, it's non-competitive at bats. It's tough, man. It's a tough watch right now.
And I'll tell you, Kyle, I think this organization over the years, not just this year, but over the years, Luciano, give a prime example. Bailey, great catcher. No question. Great catcher. But I think they put, as Giants fans and the organization, they put they put too much gusto into what they got. Too much gusto. Like if you ask the organization, would you ever trade Patrick Bailey to upgrade? Oh God, we can't trade Bailey. Oh my God, we could never trade Bailey. Well, so you can't trade a 167 hitter who can't hit in the second half of the season or hasn't proven he can do that at all. So what is the love affair with certain players in the organization?
Yeah, I think the Giants are a little.
They're very.
They're
Yeah,
stuck in their ways, so to speak.
reactions.
They're very
when people-
rah-rah. They're very rah-rah.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Yeah. Like, if
Like
if someone
Luciano
comes
was supposed to be the
me-
second coming, and when was the last time you heard that name thrown around?
Yeah. So the way I see the Giants is when they have a player come up through the minor leagues, one that they developed, if they do good for 30 games, then they're on the roster for the next couple years, no matter what happens. And if a player comes up and does bad for the first 30 games, then they immediately get sent down. And they don't really have a long-term plan, in my opinion. And Paul says, and that's Farhan, which is a good point.
Right.
Where it was always just, you're not seeing a player through. You don't continue to evaluate a player. It's just if they come up and they immediately play well, they're on the team. And if they come up and they don't get it right away, then they don't get a chance to break out of a slump.
That's fair. I tell you what.
Here's a question for
Anthony,
you, Eric.
Okay, go
Eric,
ahead.
you and I have been doing the show. It'll soon be a year, Eric, that we've been doing this show together.
A few more months.
We're together most nights. So I got to ask you, it's almost a political-like question. What are we going to stop blaming Farhan?
Yeah. No, good point. There's two. Yeah, I mean, you
Oh,
gotta.
Farhan's
No,
people are in the chat shitting on me earlier and going on about, you can't talk about 2021, Glenn. You can't talk about last year. But we're still talking about Farhan. Farhan's 80's gone. What are we talking about Farhan? Oh, Farhan's to blame.
Because there is certain ways that you got. For example, Patrick Bailey he was brought up pretty damn quick through this farm system. He probably should have been in the minor leagues much longer than what he was. Again, that was a Farhan. So there's things that you still have to blame him for because of the current construction of the team. I mean, you just have to, because honestly, what did Buster Posey do? He has done nothing, right? Again, because he hasn't had a draft.
Point.
Hold on. He hasn't had a draft. Now, his team will be truly his probably in another 3 or 4 years after you go through a few drafts, after you've had a few off seasons. Because honestly, the only thing he's really done is signed Verlander and Adames, and that's it. That's it. That's all he's done. But that's all you really can do. Because again, that's why you got to kind of base it on the previous regime, because that's what he's got to work with.
Now, see, I take the different approach. You and I are always, you know what? I'm always Mr. Negativity, Eric. It always comes across as Mr. Negativity. Well, if that's the case, then I hope he's working on it this weekend. Sitting down at his desk at Oracle Park. Fix it. What do we got to call Farhan? Bring him back to fix the mess, Eric?
That's the problem.
Farhan is gone. This is a new regime, as the people are calling it. A new regime. This new regime got to fix the problem.
It does, but it takes time. That's the problem. It's not.
All right. You know what?
Instantaneous.
So you guys are telling me we're stuck with Lamont for the whole year.
No, I didn't say that. Don't put words in my mouth. I did not say that. They're gonna. I am pretty sure there is probably conversations going on as we speak about what they're gonna do with first base. I'm sure it is.
And listen, I'm not overly excited either. We throw out the name Jake Lamb. That wasn't a Farhan move. You got a whole lot of hype on Jake Lamb coming up to fix this issue? No.
Straight depth.
What has this team done, Eric? They brought in a guy who's not hitting, and like Kyle said, fielding a little suspect too.
You got to see what you have. And look, all indications showed that, did you expect Patrick Bailey to be playing as bad as he is right now? And again, it's still early. No one did. Did everyone expect
You didn't think Bailey was going to hit about, I said, 170, 200. He's not going to. Oh, I thought he was a 200 hitter. And Lamont Wade Jr., I said all offseason, should never been on this roster, Eric.
But the problem is Lamont Wade has really fallen off a cliff. because usually his batting average is decent, 250, 260, and his on base is sitting around 400. So usually he's getting it done. Right now, he's not. And that's why a lot of people look, and this is the problem, because we got too many guys right now that are not exactly playing to their level. If you ask Patrick Bailey, would he say he's playing to his potential? No. Would Wade? No. Would Ramos? Probably no. I mean, there are guys out there that are kind of in a certain way, not having. Look, is Ramos like Wade and Bailey? No, not saying that. I'm just saying there's some guys out there that are probably not exactly happy with where they're at right now. But again, and this does play a role. How many games straight have they already played? I guarantee you this team is getting tired right now. They have not had one day off. You've played 3 in New York. You've played 4 in Philly. You played 3 in Philly or in Anaheim. And now you just got done playing 4 at home, all without a day off. So I guarantee you some of these guys probably need a day to regroup, clear their mind a little bit, get a rest. And, maybe we'll see something different. But
I still think there's a lot of excuses, Eric. Justin Kerwin, longtime viewer. Wade is Farhan's fault. Bringing in a dumpster fire, can't hit, now can't field. Eric, I'm going to ask you a question, all right? Okay, let me calm down. Ask you a question. Who signed Lamont Wade last?
That would be Posey.
There you go.
Yeah. Yep.
Can't
I knew
live
they
in
were
the
going to
past.
do that.
Wade is Farhan. It's Farhan's fault that Wade's on the team this year, the guy that Posey signed. All right. See what I'm dealing with here, Kyle?
So I do think that this is.
Take a breath.
I do think that
Dean,
this
help
is
me,
an
buddy.
interesting-
Dean, you're the voice of reason here tonight. You're going to be my
It feels
voice
like
of reason.
it feels like I've stepped into an active war zone already. Oh my goodness!
Welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live. We haven't had one of these in a little while.
I haven't been worked up like this in a little while, Eric. I didn't take my heart.
So
Hey,
I do think that this
they're
Farhan
coming
to
after you,
Posey
man.
transition.
So what do you think,
I do
Dean?
think that the
Go ahead, Kyle.
Go for it, Kyle.
Yeah, so I do think that the Farhan to Posey transition is an interesting topic to talk about because I think we're all kind of scattered on where our expectations are for what Posey needs to do with the San Francisco Giants in year 1 of being president of baseball operations. Some people might think the expectation is make the playoffs. Some people might say it's win a playoff series. For me personally, my expectation, I honestly don't care if they make the playoffs or not this year. I just want to see some progress in rehabbing the organization. Posey talked about that in a press conference in the offseason, where he talked about, this is paraphrasing, but he talked about the organization as like this injured player and they need needs time to rehab. So in my opinion, we just need to see progress on getting a long-term right fielder, a long-term first baseman, some long-term pitching. And the easy way to do that, the elephant in the room that no one really talks about, the easy way to do that is to just go out and sign Juan Soto and to go out and sign Pete Alonso and Corbin Burns. But, our ownership group doesn't roll like that.
No.
The Los Angeles Dodgers are losing money every year, according to them. Their main goal is to break even, and that's code for make as much money as possible because they're not going
there you go. That's
meetings
fair.
at the end of the year and saying, hey, investors, something crazy happened. We broke exactly even, and I have no money for any of you. So,
Kyle, because I'm Mr. Negativity tonight, I'm going to disagree with you, but we're going the same direction. How about this? I don't agree when you use the term this organization, the ownership, want to make as much money as they can. I think they don't want to spend the money that they should. Big difference. Yeah. You can work on ways to make money
are probably making
by
a lot
spending
more
money. You can make money by spending money, but if you ain't spending the money, they don't want to spend it. This is what you got. You got Lamont.
Yeah, and we have the cash. I'm seeing some people saying
yes
that we don't have the cash. We have the cash.
Do. Yes, they do. The
Yeah,
Giants
we
are
aren't in the.
loaded.
We aren't after Otani. We aren't after Judge. We aren't after any of those guys if we don't got the money. So
right,
that's
exactly.
not
Glenn, you're muted. You're no sound. There you go.
You shut me off. Listen, where do we rate? We talked about it in the offseason. This is a team with this team isn't cash strapped at number 5 in the league.
No.
This team has the bankroll of a major market organization, but they don't act like it.
Nope.
Yeah,
Anyway.
so it's going to take some development. It's going to take a few years to draft, and they've shown that they get like one upper. How do you even want to say it? One higher tier free agent per offseason, just to fill one of the holes. So they have to cycle through right fielders and they have to cycle through first basemen and pitchers to find out who they have that's cheap and who they don't have that they have to spend money on in the offseason. So
what's up, Dean?
Hey, just got back from a school event, so I'm joining a little bit late, but it's all good. It's all good. Glad to be in the conversation.
Good to have you. So what happens in your scorebook now when you are at school and we have an afternoon game like today? Do you just skip a page? Do you skip the page, or do you just move along and forget that game?
Hey, my goal is to get every single one recorded. So since I missed it, I just gotta go back and go through the play-by-play and fill it out.
You're gonna score it.
Yep, I've got it all ready for. So today's is all done. I was just waiting on filling out the standings and games back because the rest of the games weren't done yet. But yep, otherwise we're all done for today.
Kyle, Dean, meet Carter. Carter, what's up?
Not much. How are y'all doing?
What are you up to lately?
A lot of school. Got working on a major and a minor. Still haven't declared yet. Taking care of a lot of business. I have a lady now.
Okay. Enough about that. All right. Tell us about the love of the San Francisco Giants. This team has a winning record. We're poo-pooing. At least I am tonight. No, I'm not poo-pooing. I'm shitting all over this team's record because.
Okay, we got to be careful, though, because the record is good. Come on.
I'm shitting on the fact that this team is winning with smoke and mirrors.
Okay.
I'll say this. I believe in Glenn's method of subjecting this team to ruthless criticism. That is totally fair. I don't disagree with that whatsoever. I believe ruthless criticism is something that should be subjected to everything. I do think we are winning, so I'll take that, obviously. I don't think anybody will be mad at winning. I mean, we're 17-9 right now. We're a game back of the Padres. I'm all cool with that. But there are flaws. We have one good starting pitcher, and like Glenn has said, we do have only a couple optimal guys in the lineup right now. I will say this, batting average, it's a little overblown. I do think with like Matt Chapman, for example, who doesn't have the best batting average, he's still a like contributing player to this team. But I do think in order for this team to be better, runners in scoring position needs to improve massively. We need a starting pitcher from just somewhere else to just stop the bleeding. I do see Roop as a potential guy. He's cool, but the problem is he didn't play well today at all. And that's not acceptable in my opinion.
But like the guys say in the chat, but we won.
We
all of your points are making sense because Eric brought up that stat package at the beginning of the game. Eric, what were they with runners in scoring position today?
1 for 13.
Well, there you go. But we won.
That's really bad. That's a really bad stat line. And we have been doing better with runners in scoring position. We're doing better than last year, but that's not saying much. Last year we were horrible.
Was it the opening series of the year against Cincinnati? Do you remember the opening week, Eric? Way back, opening week. Way back. And we struck out 17 times one game. And guess what? We won.
So, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
this team is an anomaly.
Baseball. It's baseball, though.
This team is Jekyll and Hyde, in my opinion. We are very good. I will say there is this interesting thing that I found out looking back through the team's standings. There's only 2 losses this year that have been in blowouts. So yes, we have been playing badly in a couple games, but I will say this, in most of the games that we have lost have been either 1-run games, 2-run games, something very close. So I'm not saying that we shouldn't be looking at that and being like, okay, there is cause for alarm, because in those games, the biggest issue that I've seen, it's not runners in scoring position, it's getting people on base in the first place. which is a big problem because we can't always rely on Lee or Flores or some splash play from a random person. This is going to have to be consistent, built-up offense, and we can't do what we're doing right now in a mosh pit of a division.
I think you got it backwards in a way, but I agree with you too. I think it's you say it's a bigger problem. You got to get the guys on base. No, when you get the guys on base, then it's a big problem if you don't get them in.
I agree with that too. Yes.
So I see what your point is. I see your point. Eric, maybe I'm winning some people over with my philosophy here tonight. Maybe not. Mike O.
I got a poll out there.
Mike O. still keeps saying we win.
I changed the poll. So this is the poll I got out there right now. Only 15 votes though. It says, are the Giants winning because of the first selection, luck, second, play on the field, and the third one, both?
I mean,
right now, 47% say play on the field, 40% say both, 13% say luck. That's where we're sitting right now.
I think it's a bit of both, honestly. We are playing well in some ways. I just don't think we're not like winning by pure skill alone. I mean, one thing I will give us credit for, we destroyed the Phillies in one of our games, which is something that I didn't think we'd do. Last year, if you told me, oh yeah, you're going to like play well against the Phillies, I wouldn't have believed you for a damn second. But that's obviously a microcosm, a phenomena, if you will, of like how we've been playing. But I do think that this team has like a mixture of Glenn's like a thought on like, oh yeah, we're getting pretty lucky, which is something that happens in baseball. But we're also playing better in some ways than we would last year, because I could not imagine us winning the games that we are last year with like what we're doing right now. I really couldn't have imagined that. Obviously, that's not saying much because last year was so bad. But honestly, I think this is just a bit of a mixture of Eric's optimism and Glenn's, very
pessimism.
But I think that I will say that this team, I would say, give this team healthy amounts of cautious optimism, because we can be good. Cautious optimism, though, because you don't want to hype this team up too much and be like, oh, yeah, we're going to run through the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. No, we're not going to do that, because I still think the Diamondbacks are a better team than us, even if they are worse than us. I'm serious when I say that, too. It's not to say that we're a horrible team, but I genuinely think when I look at the Diamondbacks, I'm like, that's a really good team. When I look at the Padres, I'm like, they lost a lot of players, but they're a good team. The Dodgers, they haven't even gotten into their rhythm yet, and I still think they're a better team than us. So as of right now, just like be skeptical.
You're factoring over last year, though, right? And why you're talking about last year and how, well, we're winning games this year. You couldn't see them winning. 3 major moves that are winning us games this year. You got Jung-Hoo Lee and Wilmer Flores, who weren't playing, and you signed Willie Adames for good, bad, or indifferent. There's 3 guys on your roster that are winning us games, 2 of which are winning us games.
Jung-Hoo Lee is, oh my God, dude.
Like, well, I know what you're going to say. He's overpaid, right? He's overpaid.
Not even close.
Everybody in this goddamn chat last year, he's overpaid. Why do we sign him? And then what was my response? If the Dodgers had signed him, the same 80% of our chat would be saying, we don't spend the money. Why do we let him go to the Dodgers? They say I'm not happy. They're just
that dude. I love that dude. I'm serious when I say that dude is, oh my God, man, he's amazing. He's providing the things that we couldn't do last year. We are getting walks and on base, which is huge. We're hitting for decent average and consistency whenever he does well. He's actually knocking in runs and getting doubles, which is something that I've always wanted to see in a player. Maybe he's not hitting home runs. That's not his thing, though. As Eric has repeated, he's not a guy that you want to be like, oh, yeah, changing his swing, hitting home runs and stuff like that. No, you want him to do what he's doing right now, which is just. He doesn't
hit him on a consistent basis, but he still has a little pop in the bat. He's a great all-around player. His stat line, 90% of the time, reads beautifully after the game. Right, Dean?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Jung Lee's been the brightest spot on this team, and I'm one of the guys who's been kind of had his back since when we first signed him too. I knew it was
here
going to take
last
a
year.
little
Then
getting adjusting to, but no, yeah. I mean, he's just completely he like I think the thing that kind of goes unsaid is the fact that even after his injury, he was still learning, he was still adjusting, he was still like out in the dugout watching the games, taking in information, kind of reconfiguring his approach. And I think we're seeing the payoff for that this year. I mean, already he's got more than double the amount of doubles that he had through all of his entire season last year. He's already got, we're already seeing the dividends of like the 333 batting average now. We're already seeing, and we're seeing the development of his stealing ability. I think last year that was like Giant stealing was like something you saw maybe once every 3 weeks or something like that. And now, like sometimes they get thrown out on the bases. Sometimes I'm like, why did they go for that steal? But, the fact that they're still trying and putting pressure on the defense, you put pressure on the defense and, Kyle, you were mentioning earlier, like, costs running from third, like I think that might have actually thrown Yelich a little bit off of his off balance there. And as a result, he kind of had that error. And, it's just like, you're kind of making the baseball happen rather than allowing the baseball to happen to you, which is something that I think has been a big shift in the mentality of this team, which I much appreciate.
Jordan Hicks is bad. I'm sorry. Jordan Hicks is bad. Like, I'm not even joking when I say that. I give a lot of credit to players, okay? I do. Jordan Hicks is bad. Like, I'm not even joking when I say he's got 3 pitches that he can throw well. 2 of them are easy to telegraph, and you can hit them very easily. He's just not good, man. I'm sorry. I don't trust him, even as a reliever. And honestly, I'm not saying this to dog on him, okay? He's a decent player. He's not a bad player. I don't think he's that bad, but he's not good for us. He's better suited on a team that's just a better team, to be honest with you. If you were putting him on the Dodgers, I'd be like, okay, that's a decent ad. But
Thanks, Fuji.
I'm sorry. Just not good for us. I'm sorry.
All right, let's take a look at something.
give it a go, Eric. Give it a go. Give it a go. Take a look at his. That was a super chat. So, how much time, Eric, do you give Wade and Hicks?
I think. Hicks. I think Hicks might get a little bit more. We'll see. I'll tell you what. I think a lot of it's going to be dependent on his next start. If his next start is just as bad as has been his last 4, I think there's going to be a move fairly soon. Wade, I think they just give him the rest of the month of April, and maybe getting in a little bit of May, and then maybe they'll have to make a move at that point.
Geez, we open up against Texas 25th of the month, Eric. There's not exactly a whole lot of the month left to negotiate with him.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
I would agree in the sense that, like, I think Hicks has a shorter leash in the idea that, like, we have, like, it's a pretty, like, the situation for, like, what do we do about Hicks? The option is pretty plain and clear. Birdsong's sitting right there, and, moving him into the rotation, which he's been in before, moving Hicks back into the bullpen, which has been done before. It feels like that's a lot more of a, like, clear avenue towards, switching things up with the starting rotation. Wade, on the other hand, is a little bit like Wade, you can argue, has been quote unquote worse because he plays more days, and he has that, of course, atrocious batting average below the Wade line, as people have been calling it. But the solution to that problem is a lot more tricky because we have Schmidt on IL, VR, who has already proven that his defense at first base is questionable at best, and his bat hasn't played at the major league level. We've already spun the VR wheel several times over the last few years, and we've kind of come up empty each time it's happened. So that isn't really an option. We talked about Jake Lamb, who's just like, okay, you don't really, again, another person that you have no idea what you're getting and isn't really coming in with a lot of hype. Obviously, Eldridge isn't an option because we want him to develop properly. So we want him to make sure that he's getting plenty of his reps. So yeah, I mean, the first base solution is a lot more up in the air. Like you would need to have make something happen in a trade or something to that nature. And right now it just feels like it's not really there. Now, I do still want to give Wade, I know that this is not going to come up well. I do still want to give Wade one modicum, and I'm not going to give him any more than this, but I'm going to give him one more slight modicum of credit here. In terms of his at-bats, I would argue that Bailey's at-bats have been worse than Wade Jr.'s in the last few days. Wade is making contact. It's not going anywhere, but he's making some loud.
Popping up a lot. He's popping up a lot.
He's popping up a lot. He's getting two under the ball. And Bailey is it's completely uncompetitive.
Yeah,
Wade is walking a little bit. So again, just a modicum. I still don't think he's good. I still think we need to do something about him at first base sooner rather than later. But I guess that's more of a statement to like how concerned now I actually am about Bailey in the lineup compared to Wade in the lineup. Although, again, the batting average, of course, it speaks for itself too.
Do any of you guys agree? We had some talk about this on the weekend. Anthony Rizzo, you're going to get – you take a flyer on him to fill out the season, Eric, because you know you're getting him at bargain basement Jake
you probably could get him fairly
Lamb-like
cheap, man.
contract.
I bet you probably could get him for like $10 million, somewhere in that range.
Oh, lower than that. Dude, he's gone fishing. He's begging for a job.
But then again, the question is, does he want to come to San Francisco for $10 million?
Well, if you don't want to come
Then
he doesn't come
any less than that, then you just say, thanks, but no thanks. Your career's over, buddy.
In the situation, though, that we could possibly bring him here, I mean, could he do worse than Lamont Wade Jr.?
No.
Absolutely not. I mean, Lamont Wade Jr., if anybody knows what happened to Jose Abreu last year, Lamont Wade Jr. is playing like Jose Abreu was last year.
That's a good comparison.
I
just feel like there's guys who were on the chat last year when Eric and I started this show. Do you remember last year that Lamont Wade Jr. was hurt?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was like,
there were guys in our chat every night. Wait till he comes back. Oh my God. Wait till then he's going to start hitting. Like, it always seems to be an excuse for the guy. Oh, he's hurt, but when he comes back, look out. And then he doesn't. Wait till next year.
Well, you got to be careful because certain people are saying that, but they don't speak for everybody. Look, there's people in the chat, right? And there's more people who are more active in the chat than others, but it's not going to speak for the group, so to speak.
How's the poll looking?
Some people just like, you know, if they got the SF on their chest, they're going to back them no matter what. They're not going to. I'm just saying that. I mean, that's their prerogative. They want to do that. That's fine. That's on them. I'm a little bit more, you know, discerning as far as what the player is going to do. Yes, I'm happy that you know, we got certain players in the San Francisco Giants, but hey, you should be able to go out there and criticize when it needs to be criticized and praise when it needs to be praised. I mean, it's simple as that. I don't try to make it more complicated than that. And some people, hey, it whatever floats their boat, right?
I will say this about Lamont Wade Jr. and how the fans sort of interact with him. It's just sometimes I think our fans are like way too nice. Like, I'm serious when I say we are like way too nice to him whenever he's at home games. Because if he was playing this badly in like Philly or New York, the guy would.
Oh, I don't. To be honest with you, you know, Carter, it's a great question. Would he even still be playing if he was on?
No, he's gonna go and he's gonna get DFA'd. He's gone. I'm sorry. The next day, like, he's not been playing well.
That's a great point. Other clubs, I don't think have as much quote unquote rope, but the problem is the Giants are in a unique situation because they have an heir apparent, right? That's in the wings. But the problem is the timeline is just not matching up. So you're just patching this shit together. That's all you're doing. You're just patching it together.
I think
hopefully to be able to get into 2026.
And when Carter talks about the fans, you know, being nice, you know, and kind of coddling him, if you will, I agree, but to what degree? Because all the ball games I attended, Oracle Park, and I don't know, Dean, you're at a lot as well. I think the only Lamont Wade Jr. jerseys I see are the ones they gave out on Lamont Wade Jr. jersey night. He's not part of the fan base haven't accepted this player. He's just part of the team.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it's just kind of like okay,
No, I'm not, Anthony.
like a golf clap.
No, I'm not.
It's not like a
Yeah. Nobody rushes out to the Giants dugout store by Berry Street and says, "I gotta have my Lamont Wade Jr. jersey tonight." How
But
much?
see, the thing is I don't put so much pressure on the first base because it's gonna get fixed. Wade is just a stopgap. That's all he is. That's why I'm not spinning my wheels on it, for the simple fact he's not part of the future. He just isn't. And I don't mean to disparage Gaz, but he's not part of the future either, to be honest with you, right? He's just not. He's having a great year, and I'm glad he is. But
well, they better pick it up, Eric, because the guys you're talking about as part of the future, Ramos got to play like a major leaguer, dude.
He's got to have better. He does have to have better at bats. There's no doubt about it. And if you watch a lot of his at bats, he's killing the ball. He's getting hard contact, but it's also finding gloves. Not all the time.
Bailey's part of our future. Same thing. I mean, dude.
And I wouldn't be surprised.
We talked about the pitching staff. A lot of this pitching staff won't be back in a year.
I would not be surprised.
It's going to be revamped.
I would not be surprised if the Giants go out and get a catcher in the first round of the draft. I would not be surprised.
I actually agree with that. Listen,
I would not be surprised.
I have always been a Patrick Bailey defender. I like the guy. I think he's got like the very good glove stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Catchers have. I think he's a great player in that sense. And I saw him the first half of last year play well, but at some point, if he doesn't get better within the next month, I'm selling my stock. I'm just keeping it real. I'm selling my stock. Like, there's no way I can physically keep supporting the guy when he could keep striking out the way he is. Like, he's not playing well. Like, bottom line, he's not playing well. Again, I'll defend the guy to death, but he's not playing well enough to be like, oh yeah, I can justify him being here.
He's gonna look. I'm telling you, he's gonna have to turn this around quickly because it's look. The Giants are freaking 17-9, which is great. We can't ignore that. They're 17-9. They're getting wins, but the caveat is there's guys out there that also need to produce. And imagine that these guys are producing. Where would the record be? I mean, it's just.
And we've said that.
It's going to be interesting to see just how this all. And this is the beauty of the baseball season, right? Yeah, every month there's going to be something different. Remember, this is only the first month of baseball. And I've said this a million times. We still got another 5 months, months of this.
No.
So I'm not going to sit there and running around like my hair's on fire. Not yet.
If I can spin some positivity, which I have not done yet since the show started an hour and 13 minutes ago, Eric, is the fact that Patrick Bailey's a great catcher.
Yeah, he's
a great part of your future. But he's the great part of the future. His style, catch, can't hit. He's a great catcher on a team made up of players that can hit.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what.
If he played for the Yankees, the Phillies,
here's a great question.
Go down the list. If Patrick Bailey suited up, batting 167 on the Philadelphia Phillies, Real Muto stinks this year. I got him in fantasy. He stinks. And guess what? Not one person talks about how bad Real Muto is. Why? He's a good catcher, and he's surrounded by hitters.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. And to a certain extent, you're right. And you know what? The question was asked on Marty's show today. Marty asked Bruce Jenkins, have you ever seen a catcher, going for a pennant that has a batting average such as Patrick Bailey? And Bruce is like, no, I've never seen that. So, I mean, they're talking about it too, so that is a concern. And again, guys, this is coming from Marty Lurie and Bruce Jenkins. So it's just, we're just not sitting here trying to freaking gaslight. That's not what we're doing. We're just talking facts here. I mean, right now, Patrick Bailey is just not getting it done with the bat. He's getting it done with the glove.
And now, another Giant Sports Talk Live Super Chat.
He's giving his dues, Eric. He's back.
Yeah, what's up?
Fuji's back, and he asked something else about Bailey. He's talking about the hitting.
Yep. Bailey should not focus on batting left-handed only. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, exactly, Anthony. They said they've never seen anything like this as far as a catcher, as the production of the bat is just. That hasn't been seen in the history of them watching baseball. So again, it's unique.
Just so I don't come across as totally ignorant tonight, Eric. Totally ignorant. to our viewers and listeners. What say you, Chardal?
Oh shit!
I got it. He's been sitting there for an hour.
Oh, dude.
Chardal, what do you think?
Hey, what's up, gentlemen?
What do you think?
It's a tough game for the Giants. It was a great win. First of all, I'm a big fan of Giants Sports Talk Live. I was tuned into your show every single night. I
know
love
that.
your insight. Great win today by the Giants. Took down the Brewers 6-5. They just gotta do the same performance in Texas. Three-game series.
You think they're gonna sweep, huh?
I think we're gonna sweep.
Okay.
I'm confident.
Well, I think there's going to be a sweep, all right. But okay, thanks, Chardal.
Oh, what the heck? I was gonna talk to him a little bit more.
Okay,
Oh,
Eric wants to talk to you for a bit.
All right.
Hey, Eric. So, what were your thoughts on the win tonight?
He's a big fan of our show, but he just wrapped up Dan's show first. He just had, just
whatever,
saying.
man. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of your show. I was tuned into your show every single night. I love all the insight you bring, all the guests you bring on here. Carter, it's great having you on here. Dean's great having you on here. Kyle, I checked your YouTube channel. I love what you do. I gave you a like and a subscribe to your channel. So
Look at that, Kyle.
I'm trying to help you
Thank
get
you
up there
very
in the
much,
subscriber game and help you get up there so you can start getting super chats and memberships and then stuff like that. I want to help you out.
This is
I'm trying to help.
Subscriber game.
I'm helping all these people out. You know, that's what I do.
That's what
I help people.
That's
So people.
good on you for helping. out.
Chardal is a man of the people.
I'm helping
He
out
is.
Kyle,
That's awesome.
and it's
I'm
great
sure
that he's on
Kyle
here.
appreciates it.
I've never seen Kyle before, but it's great that he's on here.
Eric, have you got a question for Chardal tonight, Eric?
Yes, Chardal. What'd you make of the win today? I mean, it seems like the title of today's show is more of, is it luck or is it the play? What do you think, Chardal? Is it luck or the play on the field?
Play on the field.
Okay, fair. Who right now? Who's your favorite player right now? Right now,
Wilmer Flores and
Wilmer?
Jung-Hoo Lee.
Okay, fair enough. That's good.
He
I
knows
like
his
it.
ball, Eric.
What
No,
about,
I love Wilmer because he leads in home runs. 7 home runs for
Yeah.
Wilmer Flores.
You
He
like the
leads
power.
he leads the season in home runs. What are your thoughts on Wilmer, Glenn? You're one of the biggest Wilmer Flores fanatics that I've seen on here on Giant Sports Talk Live.
Excuse me, I am the biggest Wilmer Flores fanatic. Not one of, I am the Wilmer Flores fanatic.
So
Who called? Who said he's going
He's
to be the
chair
home run
of the
king on
Wilmer
this team?
Flores fan club.
I'm one of the biggest Buster Posey fans out there, and I'm happy that he's our president of baseball operations for
No,
the
you're
Giants.
a Buster fan. Oh,
But
I need a break.
I have
Eric.
his
I'll be back.
I have his jersey, and I wear his jersey everywhere I go. When I go
I bring him
outside
in
to
and-
Giants
I bring him
games,
in and then I leave.
that's messed up. He was in the middle
That
of
was
it.
tough. But
so people,
Yeah.
whenever I go to Giants games, and then whenever I wear my Buster Posey jersey, people say that you're a big fan of his, and I say that's the only. People ask, is that the only Buster Posey jersey you own? I say that's the only Buster Posey jersey I own. I have no other Buster Posey jerseys. I have a shirt.
Right on. All right. What about the starting rotation? Who's your favorite starting pitcher right now?
Logan Webb.
Fair. Okay. Are you concerned about the rotation? Sure.
I'm not concerned. I think
Not at all?
I'm concerned a little bit as a Giants fan, but it can be altered a little bit.
How would you alter it? Let me hear. How would you alter that rotation?
To add Landon Roop in the rotation.
He's already in the rotation.
Add Kyle Harris in the rotation.
Kyle Harris. Okay. Who would you get off?
Jordan Hicks.
Jordan. Where would you put Jordan Hicks?
Move him down to the minor leagues.
Move him to the minor leagues. You don't even want to move him into the bull. Man, you're harsh, dude.
No, I want him to move him to the minor leagues.
You just would say to hell with him. You don't want
Hell
to deal
with Jordan Hicks. I don't like him. Move him down to the minor leagues.
Man, why so hey? You don't think he's got?
No, he's not.
something to give?
He's not performing really well.
Well, as a starter, he is. And what about as a reliever? You don't think he could perform as a reliever?
Starter, I'll keep him. I won't make him a reliever. Starter, I'm fine with him making him a starter.
What?
No, he shouldn't. He should not be a star. He should be a reliever, not a starter.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. Let's see.
Carter. It's great having you on here. You haven't been going live on your channel, Carter. What's been going
He's
on?
busy. He's busy,
I've
man.
been going to your channel and there's no content on your channel at all. What have
He's
you? Are
busy.
what are you busy? Are
He's
you
busy.
Just, what about Dean?
Dean, he's busy. He's a teacher.
He's a teacher.
Yeah.
Here I am. Yeah.
Oh, you're a teacher?
Yep. Teach high school.
I didn't
bud.
know you're a teacher.
Yeah, I'm a high school teacher, buddy.
Why did you not tell me you're a teacher before I knew who
He
when I
said
come
it.
on here?
Dude, I thought you watched the show every single day, Chardon.
I watch the show.
You just said you watch the show every day.
I watch the
Dean's
show
been on
every single night.
Dean has been on the show at least 5 times at a minimum, and he's talked about him being the freaking instructor. Come on, man. I thought you were a fan.
Eric, how many?
I just got back from a school event.
I'm a fan of
Come on.
GTS. I'm a fan of Giant Sports Talk Live.
Get out of here, man. Then how do you not know Dean is not a
No, I know
freaking-
Dean is a teacher. He
Then why'd
just
you say
told
you
me
didn't
now.
know?
No, now I know.
Now,
All right, don't you forget it, Chardon.
Okay, I won't forget it. I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep that in my brain. I'll keep that in. I'll keep that inside my noggin.
Okay, that's fair. All right.
I won't forget, so I won't ask Dean. I won't ask him again.
Okay, last question, Chardon. I gotta get you out of here.
Hey,
what did you do with Wade?
Keep Wade.
Keep Wade. As
Lead.
what?
Wade should lead off.
Wade should lead off. Why should Wade lead off?
He's our best hitter.
And there we go. All right. Thanks, Chardon.
Unfortunately, this is not the low numbers.
Oh my God.
What did I miss?
Much appreciated.
You
Well,
stuck
Glenn,
us
you
with
missed,
him.
You missed.
I do this every
You
time,
missed something.
guys. I
Kyle,
bring him in and I take my
Kyle,
break.
and Dean have experienced the Chardon experience. Yeah.
The Chardon
How's your first time,
experience.
guys? Was just as bad as mine.
I thought I heard. I thought I heard.
What was more painful, that or watching Wade Jr. at bats?
I know you're the only one with wearing the cans there, Eric. You got the headphones on. Did I hear him say that Wade should be batting the leadoff?
Because he's the best hitter. That's
what I thought.
Yeah,
but hey,
yeah.
who's I would never argue with Chardon.
I mean, if this were golf, maybe.
Yeah, he's got a great golf swing, guys. Amazing golf
Oh
swing.
man.
Maybe he could go after the Masters. You know,
Guys, you
Oh,
weren't
my
on the show the
gosh.
night that Eric, what did you say to him? Glenn's gonna go spend a day with you, Eric.
Yeah, that's
Or
right.
Chardon.
Well, you're stuck up north, so I think you've been able to dodge that bullet.
I've dodged that bullet, but Bernice nailed it, didn't she? She said, I can see it now. You're going to go out there, spend the afternoon. You two are going to get stuck on the Ferris wheel at the very top, and they're going to have to call the fire department. You're going to be stuck up there for 3 hours with Chardon. And I'm telling you, if it could happen to anybody,
that is.
and I'm coming looking for you, Romo.
Of my life.
Hey, I'm innocent. Look at Ibrahim. Have you heard of the new
That's
Wade
good.
cologne? It's
All right.
the whips. Oh man, dude. Woo!
You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna invite him over to your place for dinner, Eric.
Oh my lord, man!
Oh man.
That is the most excruciating experience.
Dude, well, I've watched your show. Bart.
Kim
I watched your
Jong-un
show.
has
I
better
watched your show.
torture practices than that. Kim Jong-un has better torture practices than that.
Oh man.
Word of the
Good stuff.
Lord.
All right, let's get back to baseball. Eric Senior says Kyle Harrison pitched a gem
take a
today.
look
Did
at
you
it.
see his stats at all?
I'll find it right now.
Because he's still
Trade him.
down there in the wings, you know.
Trade him.
Whoa.
Carson
Okay.
Seymour's another guy to watch down in the minors. He's got an ERA in the ones. Something I wanted to say earlier about Jordan Hicks. I sort of wonder what's going on behind doors with Jordan Hicks, because last year he was brought in. Zaidi promised that he would let him start, obviously. Brought him in. He agreed to come from San Francisco. And I sort of wonder if the Giants' inability to get players to San Francisco and play for the team is factoring into the decision to let him continue to go, which I obviously think is a mistake. I think if you start winning, then you attract free agents. So it's sort of a risk to go back on your word, and it's not even Posey's word though. It's Zaidi's. It's a new regime. You can move on, but I sort of wonder if that's factoring into their decision. It's tough for them to get free agents. What is,
and I'll tell you something. And to your point, and because a lot of people talk about, if you win, and yes, in certain situations, winning does attract players. But during Giants, if you think about their World Series runs, they really didn't attract superstars. And then again, and I've said this in offseason, I don't mean to talk about it now here during the season because it really doesn't matter right now. I have yet to hear a player say no to the Giants when they've offered the most money. Right? Have you ever seen the reports coming out? Oh, well, the Giants offered the most, but they decided to go elsewhere. You don't ever hear about it. It's always
match the offer.
Yeah, exactly. It's always matching, or they come in. Yeah, exactly.
The only time we ever gave the money was to Correa, Eric, and look at
Correa. And then what happened? They found a way to get out of it. They gave him the money, but then they found a way to get out of it. But whatever.
He was ready. He was putting on the shirt and tie, ready to go to the ballpark to sign.
To be honest with you, though, dodged a bullet on that.
Yeah, a bit of it.
Yeah, dodged a bullet.
At least he can hit.
Yeah. Harrison, 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. No earned runs for young Kyle Harrison. That's encouraging. And then Ragsdale came in for a 3-inning save. Gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 strikeouts.
A 3-inning save. This organization does everything different, don't they?
You know what they're doing? Nah, I know what they're doing. It's the minor leagues. They're just getting the guy work. That's all they're doing.
Yep,
that's all they're doing. Not a big
what was the score of the game, Eric? Did you get the score? What was it?
7-5. 4. 7-4. The River Cats beat the Chihuahuas.
I love the minor league baseball team names, man.
The Yard Goats.
Rocket City Trash Pandas.
Yes, the Rocket City Trash Pandas.
No, I'm sorry. That's a Dodger affiliate, but I will admit that is one of the greatest names I've ever heard in my life. Like, that's just amazing. Whoever thought of that is amazing. Like,
Eric, there are more guys that we didn't get that make up a roster than guys that we have gotten.
It's fair.
And Morkatna says
that guy
should have got Yamamoto.
Well,
if we had gotten him, just imagine.
But supposedly that was I'm not going to go down there.
Then we got young Jung-Hoo Lee, and everybody said we overpaid for him. So you can't win, Eric. Can't win.
Overpaid.
You can't win. Overpaid.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. As a Japanese American, I really wish we could have gotten one of those guys.
I know, man.
Whether it was Yamamoto or
were you on board with me to sign? So we end up with Verlander, and everybody fought me on this. They signed the 42-year-old pitcher, but do you want to see the hate mail that rolled into Giant Sports Talk Live when I was leading the charge to sign a 35-year-old Sagano.
How's he doing?
I think he's 2-0 or 2-1?
I wanted the other guy.
Last part was pretty bad, but his previous 2 before that were pretty good. He went 7.
Imanaga, man. If I say it right, if I'm
Imanaga, yeah.
Imanaga.
Yeah, that's another one.
I wanted Shino, the guy that the Orioles got this offseason. I can't remember. I don't know how to pronounce his name. So, Sugano. No, Sugano's another one. Oh my gosh. For starting pitching, though, I think this is risky. We need to go talk to Tampa Bay.
And what makes you think Tampa Bay, a young up-and-coming team, is going to move pitching?
Because that's what they do. They love doing this. They've done it to the Dodgers. They've done it to the Pirates. They've done it to many, many teams. And it's it's turned out well.
Caesar, that's great. Maybe we should have a pitcher hit for Wade.
That unironically might.
My God.
Isn't that bad? That much worse?
No, I don't think that could be much worse. That could actually be better.
Mad Bum can hit better.
This is
there you
Mad
go.
Bum can definitely hit better. No, yeah, he's amazing. Greatest hitting pitcher the Giants have ever seen, probably.
Oh, I don't know. I think what's his name? Robinson, right? Wasn't he a fantastic? I think he was even a better hitter than.
I'll look him up later.
The best hitting pitcher I saw was Dan Schatzner, but I think you guys are too young. Remember that?
You know who was a good. You know, Grinke was actually a pretty decent bat.
Head case. I told you about the day at Oracle Park. The young kid, got him to sign the baseball, and the little prick, he signed the ball for the kid and then threw it into the third deck. Like, what an ass. I never liked him.
Wow.
He is evil, man. Like
Fuji, another $2. Thank you, sir. Yeah, the Imanaga contract is a decent deal. Yeah, it is. All the pitching, the only Japanese pitching deal that has been egregious has been Yamamoto. All the other ones are always at 5 years, $75 million for them. Right? That's what it's. Singa, Imanaga. Who else? There's another one out there. It's always 5 years, 70. Oh,
Singa was another one.
Suzuki.
Yeah.
He wasn't a pitcher.
We were after him as well, though. We were after him, but
I know.
they had for a week. They superimposed the uniform on Senga. He was up on the scoreboard. So every time I would take the interstate in to go to the condo, you'd drive right by the big scoreboard. He was up there for a week, and then the Giants wouldn't sign him to a 5-year deal. The next day, he signs the exact same contract.
He's sub 1 ERA right now with the Mets, by the way.
So like Eric says, this team is a victim of their own demise. They've had opportunity, and they just always they fall short.
I think that's got to change.
Don't spend the money.
No, I think that has been the biggest fault of the Giants, that a lot of the time we've developed from within and done well. The problem is that we've never been willing to take risks and spend tons of money. I think a lot of the time we've been afraid of the Johnny Cueto contract or the Samardzija contract or all those contracts that didn't end up working out. But this offseason,
but Carter, the same can be said about the trades. This is a team that won't make the trades. And what did Buster Posey say in the preseason? You got to be careful with trades because if they don't work out, then you look bad. Well, you can't sit on your hands and be fearful.
I do think it's funny because there was a report that came out in the offseason saying that Buster Posey and Zach Manassian were lighting up other general managers' phones, but the trade offers, they were non-starters, what the Giants started with. It made me laugh because it's okay, these guys are just guys playing fantasy baseball. They've got Dan Cucamonga out there making trade offers with these other GMs.
Look at Kyle.
Kyle coming in hot on the Dan Cucamonga.
It sounds like he's watched a couple of episodes with our friend Vince. That's awesome.
Vince would be proud.
Vince is my favorite, man.
Eric, what do we got going on the dots?
We got the Athletics, bottom of the ninth, tied score. Got a runner at second base, 2 outs. Can Wilson, the young shortstop, come through with a hit so they could send the Athletics home happy. Oh, look at this. 3-1. 3-1. Let's go. Oh, it's Puke Jackson. It's Puke Jackson on the mound for Texas.
One of the worst decisions we ever made.
Easy.
Let's hope they go 18 innings, exhaust everyone in their bullpen.
Yeah, I know, right?
There you go.
No, please.
Come on, Wilson.
Come on, Luke.
Hey, guess what? Wilson's on my team.
How many points do you get for save? 3?
3.
Oh, one more out. I get 4 more points.
That's going
to be it. That's going to be it. That's a walk-off.
There we
Damn
go.
it. All right.
That's what I'm talking about there.
No.
That's what I'm talking about.
No.
There we go. Way to come through, Wilson.
Seacook.
Yeah. Woo! That's what I'm talking
Welcome
about,
to the Luke
baby.
Jackson experience, Rangers.
That is what I'm talking about.
Ladies and gentlemen. God.
Yes.
God, why did we ever sign that guy? He was so bad.
There we go.
He's got needed at that point. It was just bodies.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why ERA does not matter.
There we go.
Oh my gosh.
Woo!
Stats like ERA and saves.
And hey, with that hit and RBI, I have moved from 5th to 4th place in our fantasy baseball league. Let's go, Wilson.
Oh my God.
Woo!
How did you do today? How are you doing? Let me take a look here. The Mission Rock have 50 points today. The Asian Alliance, still with their 100-point lead in first, have got 48 today.
All right. There we go.
So you actually, I would have had more points than you today, but Luke just hit me in the ass.
And I was just going to say, how many pitchers did you start today? I had a few guys go today.
I only had 2. Snotty.
Only 2?
Bastard.
I had 3, but Roop,
Oh,
I might have to give him the walking papers. There we go. Yeah, buddy.
Little bastard.
I'm stoked, man.
Indeed.
Woo! Woo!
We're getting to a point in the fantasy league, though, Eric. Did you notice?
Oh, we got so much.
When I pick up pitchers, or you'll go to look, you say you got to fill in. You say you want to get rid of somebody, a second baseman, a third baseman, an outfielder. Dude, it's slim pickings right now. Anyway.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely, it is. Absolutely. Thanks, Robert.
How many roster moves have I made? I'm just going to look that up.
Let's take a gander.
Let's take a look at the league. I have made
111. Oh my God!
111 roster moves.
Oh my God, that is Tampa Bay Rays level of roster moves. Jesus.
Marcus comes in second at 49. So I'm working the wire, buddy. I'm working the wire.
Robbie,
but then I've got a 100. I've got a
Robbie's
103-point edge on Dan, who's holding down second. I got 100 and Eric. Dude, you got to catch me if you can.
Oh, trust me, people will be catching you when you're not having no more starting pitching.
I'm more excited about the players I've got. See my roster of players who are hurt? I've been picking up guys that nobody wants. Like Ha-Sung Kim. I got him for $1.
Yeah, we'll see how it is when we get to.
You could do worse, I guess.
When we because I've been consistent. My team's actually been consistently putting up some decent points.
Yeah, you got Jung-Hoo Lee, you prick.
Of course I do. Yeah, and Kyle Tucker, and
and Robbie Dizzle offered me Wilmer Flores. I said,
dude.
No. And then I've offered him a trade every day. Nope.
It ain't happening.
Nope. Now all of a sudden he's his biggest fan. Robbie Dizzle. I like Rob. I can't say anything bad about Rob.
Nice, Robert. Right on.
Yeah, it's nice, Eric. It's nice to get up in the morning and have a 103-point lead in the fantasy league, buddy.
I think you're going to win April.
Baseball.
When you start 3 pitchers every single day. Where are you? Hey, hold on. Let's see. Where are you on innings pitched?
I started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I started 6 pitchers today. No, I'm sorry, 5 pitchers today. 2 starters.
As of today, and it hasn't calculated all today. You know how many you are. You know where you are.
Eric, I don't want to know. I'll look it up if I want to know.
It's.
You ready to throw me under the bus?
No, don't throw. Anyone who's in the league can see what
they'll trade us.
It's up there, man.
I won April last year too, baby.
Yeah, but it all matters.
Do any of the guys? Maybe Carter knows, but does Kyle and Dean know what happened to me last year playing the first year fantasy league with you guys over on Dan's channel?
You ran out of moves.
I made at the end of the first month. I had no roster moves left.
At the end of the first month.
So I was stuck with. So if a player got hurt, I was trying to make 2-for-1 deals, trading away good players to try to fill my roster, and then nobody would trade with me. So what happened? Every time what was my deal this year, Eric? I don't trade with anyone whose name begins with the letter D. Dan or Dilly.
To be honest with you,
what about Dean?
And I'll tell you one thing right now. And I think one thing that we can attribute to the way that we got the league set up, not very many trades. Not very many trades at all.
Nobody will trade. Now everybody's they're like Giant fans. It's a Giant sports talk league. Everybody's I can't
I'll tell you why.
My buddy.
When you have unlimited moves, it allows people to just go make their own moves without having to worry about trading. So it kind of helps.
All right. Shohei to Dan is insane. Oh, my goodness. Oh.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, what's up, Johnny?
I will say that playing the fantasy league, it opens up your eyes to players you wouldn't know what. Like
I'll tell you what, that is a benefit of fantasy. If you're a fan of the game, but you're really not, don't understand if you play fantasy, it will teach you to understand what's going on in the league.
That's why I love. I'd never be tuning into Tampa Bay Ray games now. I can't miss him, man. With Chandler Stevenson playing, this guy is. You guys know about Chandler, right?
Simpson? Yeah, I've heard so many good things about
I call him Stevenson. Chandler Simpson.
Amazing
unbelievable.
Player. Speed, average, Luis Arias.
We had our guy from the Roto League there. What was it called? What was the fantasy
Chris Welsh.
League? Chris Welsh. He's a big fantasy guy in the circle.
That was awesome.
He said, give him a full season, he steals you an easy 100.
Yeah, that was fun.
And in the last 2 years of the minor leagues, in the last 2 years, he stole over 200. in 2 seasons.
Ricky
Now,
Henderson's
The
illegitimate.
key is he's got to get on base because you can have all the speed in the world, but if you're not getting on base,
He's got the wheels. So he's exciting to watch. You get 2 points for a stolen base. He gets on, you get a point. So boom, 3 points. Bang. So it's fun to watch. I wouldn't be watching Tampa games or games around the league.
Tampa Bay Rays are a very interesting baseball team.
They're young and exciting. I like
The
that.
Tampa Bay Rays are great, man. I think they're a great organization with a great front office. All they need is an owner willing to spend actual money instead of that cheap Stu Sternberg.
Are you talking about the Giants? Oh, okay. For a minute there, I thought you were talking about the Giants.
Yeah, no, Stu Sternberg is another one of those owners. We all know the owners that I'm talking about, right?
Matter of fact, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Marty Lurie and Bill Madden were talking about it today. And supposedly Manfred does not like.
If you have Robert Manfred on your case, you have done a very bad job, man.
Did you know this is what Bill Madden said? Incredible. This guy gets $120 million without one person coming through the gates, without one game. He's already starts off with $120 million in the bank because of the revenue sharing. 60 million, and then he gets 60 million for something else as well. I was like, what? That was crazy.
He's being paid.
That's why MLB is cracking down on people like Fisher. Who's the owner of the Pittsburgh Pirates? He's another one.
Bob Nutting.
Yeah. Yep. And then of course the guy in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I mean it's just he's being paid $120 million to be one of the 10 worst owners in baseball. That's just amazing. Honestly, it's a great hustle, man. You've pulled it off. But honestly, like the one thing I want to see this league do, we need to have a salary floor. That would be my Christmas wish for baseball. Like, give us like a salary floor so that teams are incentivized, or if they don't spend enough money, then you're going to get financial penalties brought down on your head.
I'll give credit to the A's, Eric. They went out and they've spent some money.
They spent some money only this year. Yeah, this year they spent some money.
Got to give them
Severino, credit. And then who else? They locked up Rooker. They locked up Lawrence Butler. So yeah, they did spend some money. Man, you ready to close us down, man? We're already going hour.
Dude, I was ready to shut it down about 22 minutes ago when we had Chardall on. I didn't know that was
Hey guys, thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate it, guys. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Kyle, have a good one. Dean, Carter, thanks, guys.
Boys. See you guys. See Kyle. See Dean. See you. There you go, Carter. And see you, Chardall. I love when I bring in Chardall. I gotta, go to the bathroom or get another pop or something always seems to come up. I don't know.
Yeah. Huh?
I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you to hit it.
Snotty little bastard.
Robbie says, Ibrahim, and I'll let Eric know when he can pass the postseason bracket. Oh, there we go. Yeah. The West Valley Vikings are going to be in the playoffs. I think they came in second place.
No way.
I'm having chest pain.
Yeah, buddy. Let's see, man. There we go.
Robbie,
right on, man.
You've gone quiet on me. I haven't heard. I got in the last 2 weeks, I think I got 2 texts from Robbie Dizzle. Robbie DeVille went quiet on me. All of a sudden, now he was like, "You want to make a trade? Want to make a trade?" Now it's like, "Okay, I'll make a trade." Hold on, I'm not making a trade with you.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.
Wilmer is on the no trade list, apparently.
Oh wait, what time's the game? Oh, it's going to be a pile late game. Oh, what time is it? It's not a 7:15, is it? On Friday?
Yes, it's a late start tomorrow night.
Is it 6:45 or 7:15?
Oh, I believe it's 7. Phone went dead. I'll look it up though. I got it.
I'm looking it up here. Right here. Schedule and tomorrow, Texas.
Tomorrow, Giants.
Man, 7:15.
7:15.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna go on late tomorrow. But
I won't be on till what? I'll be on actually on Saturday. How about that?
Yes, you will be. 100%. You will be on Saturday. Yep.
Because it shows me my time here. It shows 9:15 start. So 10, 11, 11:45, 12. It's going to be on after midnight.
That's right. It's going to be Apple TV.
I
forgot about that.
Right. At least it isn't the old, what's that network? I can never remember the name.
True
TV. Yeah.
I don't get it, man. Don't get it.
Either.
All right, man, let's get the heck out of here. We'll be back tomorrow late, guys. Again, we'll talk some more Giants baseball. It'll be game 1 of the Texas and Giants series, or I should say Rangers and Giants series. Should be a lot of fun.
The good news is now that I've got the MLB package, you don't have to go wandering around spending 20 minutes. It's inning. Welcome to the top of the fourth. By the time I find the game, now you just go to the MLB section. Boom, there's the game.
There you go. Easy breezy.
I like it.
Easy breezy.
And if you don't like a certain, if you want to watch a game, maybe something from the out of town scoreboard, you don't like the announcer, next channel, boom, same game, home team.
Yeah, there you go.
I like that. I like that. But I like Kruk and Kipe. I told you today they put out new Kruk and Kipe merchandise. Oh, maybe I didn't tell the guys, but I was telling Eric they've got new merch available now. All Kruko and Kuiper.
Nice.
Shirts, hats, buttons, patches. Bernice is getting the Gamer Babe shirt and hat.
Nice.
I like it.
Nice.
Good on them.
Yeah, why not?
Right.
They are loved here in the Bay Area, no doubt.
Well, a Friday night of Giant Sports Talk Live to look forward to tomorrow night, Eric. I dare say I'm going to have an easier time getting up to do the 8 a.m. morning show than I will. You're going to have to put in a wake-up call for me tomorrow night.
There you go. All right, guys.
Be
good. We will see you tomorrow night after Game 1. Rangers, Giants. Woo!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.